Welcome to the fifth episode of IBU EconTalks Podcast. Today, as our guest, is our dear professor, Assistant Professor Dr. Abil Baush, also the CEO and the co-founder of the Innovation Center Innox. Welcome, Professor.
Oh, Sani, thank you very much. This is good presentation, like Professor and also CEO of Innovation, of Innox Innovation Center. It's good to speak about innovation and about entrepreneurship in this episode. Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you, Professor, for being here. So today we are going to tackle in general the contemporary entrepreneurship. As you have seen in the other episodes, we are tackling in general contemporary topics with expert guests, and today we will tackle this topic with our dear professor. So, Professor, let's go into our conversation directly. And very shortly, how do you define contemporary entrepreneurship from your perspective nowadays in 2025? What comes first?
Look, if we speak for the entrepreneurship like notion, we must refer in the history how it's appeared the entrepreneurship. So, if we start with the first issue, economic economic problem, that we have scarcity of the resource, and that, like how we say 200 or 300 years ago, Adam Smith said that we have three resources, and in the one side that we must combine them, and the other side that we can do, like how to say, fulfill the needs and wishes to the people. Then if you see these three ingredients, if you bake a cake and then you have three ingredients like land, like capital, and the human force or labor, then you need something that we call salt in the bread. That is something that you're going to do to fulfill the needs and wishes to the consumers, to the citizen, to the people, etc. So that was entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship was something that you need to the scarcity of this resource to combine very well and to bake a cake that they're going to be so tasty so the people can fulfill the needs and wishes. Sorry that I used this kind of algorithm like cake or something like that, but this is something that we call. And if you see the three elements that we call like a resource, that like land, capital, and human resource, they are something that we can see, we can touch, and we can feel them. But in the other side, the entrepreneurship is something that they cannot see. So the entrepreneurship is starting from the side that it's normal, that is existing like notion before Adam Smith and before the in the beginning of the civilization, where the people start to do some creative thing. But in the meantime, they do something that we call risk. If the first humankind start to use the fire to bake something, that was risky, because in the meantime he can do damage himself, and in the other side can do something good tasty. So this is entrepreneurship from the beginning. It's some process that you need to do a risky thing, but not risky without any data or any for example, needs or wishes in the other side, information, so to create something. So this is very important to do about entrepreneurship. And nowadays, the entrepreneurship is something else. Yes. So because we develop
this is something that I wanted
to
relate.
This is something, So if you have information,
even entrepreneurship before a decade, 15 years ago, it's really different than nowadays entrepreneurship.
You know what, Sani? Well, because if you have two people, two beautiful minds like Edison and Tesla, who were fantastic in the period that they were together with electricity. It was you are Nikola Tesla, fantastic scientist with the electric force, this kind of thing that he invented. And the other side, you have fantastic, brilliant mind with a entrepreneurship like Edison.
Mindset.
I'm sorry, yeah. So he said this thing: if I do some invention, they must pay me for this thing. So if was not the Edison, I think the electricity maybe is not going to be like It's in this age was. So this is something that we do information. We collect information, but the information in the time that was Edison, the Tesla, and I don't know, the Watt machine and this kind of thing was like you creating something that we call a necessary thing, but with the lack of information. Nowadays, the entrepreneurship is something else because you have information unlimited.
Yes, flowing from everywhere.
From everywhere. So nowadays, you don't know what is the information, what is the knowledge, and what is the experience. So if we have like a resource like land, capital, and labor, in the other hand, you have the information that they are floating, technology raising
AI.
up. You have time that it's counting very fast. Like not that we change the time, but that when you have a lot of information, you have a lot of time that you have not time. How to say? So you can provide all information that you can do something. So nowadays the entrepreneurship is in the different level. Because you have entrepreneur that they are from the agro industry, the industry. You have entrepreneur in the social media, in the technology, in deep tech. You have in the governments. It's very important things in entrepreneurship, in the governance, in the institution governance, and the entire world. So this is something that is very important about the entrepreneurship nowadays.
And what do you think? Which entrepreneurial, since now you mentioned several of them, which of them do you think from the entrepreneurial activities are mostly transformed nowadays by the developed digital tools, including artificial intelligence?
This is very interesting thing. So this is very interesting thing because if you see how the civilization is developed, so they are always want someone to do the work that they plan. Okay, so if I mention Edison and Tesla, and then they create electricity from that period, you have raising up the development of the technology and the entrepreneurship. I think so from the industrialization from this period, because you have entrepreneurship in the how to say with all the previous era in a Greece time, in Roman times, the Ottoman Empire, but they are in the big structural, how to say, infrastructural innovation. Like they creating, I don't know, church, mosque, street, the big civilization, etc. But now, after they create this electricity, I think the future start to do in the future. They know that they're going to appear something else. So. From that period, we have like how to say we have raising up the entrepreneurship from the period that Keynes also explained about the entrepreneurship, to develop the theory of Adam Smith and the others. Then with the appearing of the first computer, first machine, because I read a book about the robots of this kind of thing, and always the humankind, the human want to have some, how to say, someone that is going to help him. So the period that start to create the electricity is that the time that the people start to think about the creating the technology of the also digitalization, about deep tech, etc. So when I say this thing, don't forget that also Maria Curie invented the X-rays with electricity, and then the first computer, atom tuning with the computers, with the learning machine, and that was like developing this thing. Nowadays, I think the people who have the deepest impact in the technology were the people like, for example, I don't know, Steve Jobs, or maybe Bill Gates, or the people that they are putting like entrepreneurship and the technology in another level. So we cannot do exactly time period when they start to do how to say the rising of development of technology, but I think the period that from the Edison and Tesla was the period that we start to create raising the technology.
And we have ongoing discussion. You mentioned a little bit the human beings. Now it is a lot of discussed nowadays that for some decades, maybe even faster, will be replaced by robot, humanized robots, or their work will be replaced effectively by artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think nowadays, entrepreneurs, what kind of skills need to
It's a very good question.
grasp in order to prevent
Mm-hmm.
or to be better prepared and to face the challenges of the upcoming future?
When we said a robot, the etymological word of the robot is rob. A rob is like prisoner, like someone that is going to work for you, etc. etc.
Yes.
So that was not something unusual for the humankind. They have robs or slaves in the period of the Egypt, of the Greece, Roman or Ottoman Empire. So the people who are working for the other people, so like slavery and the feudals. But nowadays, okay.
Yes, we have a trend
Yeah.
that is trying to go beyond this.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
well
yeah,
explained, beyond this term
Yeah.
of robot being an assistant
Yeah. Yeah.
or a server
Yeah.
to the owner. And nowadays it goes beyond. They want to humanize robots, on the other hand,
Yeah.
to robotize humans.
Yeah, this is something that is maybe look. Artificial intelligence work, with the prompt, with the algorithm that you give to them. So nowadays they cannot be, so humanoid robot cannot have conscience. So the people have conscience, and the entrepreneur spirit never can do the robot because they are living with the algorithm.
Yes, they can
So
do
nowadays,
the work.
But it's very interesting who's staying behind the algorithm. So this is something that we can speak about ethics of what we are doing there and about the thing that how we can use the robot for doing good things. Let give the explanation. Nowadays, so you have a field, yes, with for example, you want to raise corn in the field, and if you use technology, robot technology, drones, and this kind of technology, you're going to raising up the production of the corns in your field. So they are using United States, for example, GMO, this kind of thing. So they are using robots. When I explain to my student why we are learning economy, we are learning economy to do our life better and to do to have luxury in our life. So this is something that we need to do also with the robotization, with the robots and this kind of thing. So when the question was where the entrepreneurship can be in this thing. Look, Sani, when we say entrepreneur, it not mean that entrepreneur are people who are taking risk for everything. They are not dumb.
Yes.
They are very smart people.
And they should.
So they have courage, and they have a lot of information.
They know to sense the momentum.
Yeah. They know the moment when they must do something different. So let's take example about the smartphones. So what invents Bill Gates, for example, Steve Jobs, the smartphones. They already have the computer. We have already phones, cell phones. We have iPods or this kind of thing. So what he did, I'm going to collect all the thing we're going to put in one phone, and we're going to call smartphone or office or entertainment or everything. So he did this thing. He had experience in everything that we mentioned, in the computer, in the phone, in everything. So he take the risk to do smartphone, but in the meantime, he had a lot of experience. He gained a lot of experience.
A lot of knowledge.
Lot of knowledge, lot of networking, lot of people they trust in him. So this is something that for one successful entrepreneur must have. So a lot of experience thing with the thing that you are doing. So when you want to invent something, you must be entrepreneur, but not entrepreneur only with a heroic act, but with a lot of information that you can do in this thing. So let's turn back to the robotization. When you're going to do robots in your factory, like entrepreneur, you are doing that thing to raise your productivity, okay, to gain more market, and also to modernize your technology in your factory or in your organization, or let's say this thing. So for this thing is good, robotization, and the entrepreneur nowadays they are how to say more active than they were, let's say, before falling down the Berlin Wall. So nowadays they are very inventive. Okay, how Steve Jobs said, if to the CEO that he take to the Apple, you want to sell the water because he worked for Coca-Cola. You want to sell a water, or you want to sell the future. So you choose. What do you want to sell?
Yes, that's the
you want to
difference.
see the future, or you want to see you want to sell the water. So this is the entrepreneurship vision, about seeing the future, how it's going to be. So they know that the cycle of life is not internal, but the people who are living the entrepreneurial spirit, like Jobs that I mentioned, they are the people who know, who project, and they produce the future. It's very interesting. The entrepreneur people, they are producing the future. So with the smartphone, he produced the future.
Right.
This is very interesting.
Yes, Professor. And I think that we all agree that the recent technological development and all of these dynamic circumstances that we are living on, they have revolutionized, transformed a lot of sectors, especially being an entrepreneur, the entrepreneurship. And of course, they do a lot of, like you mentioned, several benefits from these developments to more efficient work, more productive, time saving, and a lot of benefits. And they have put in another level the entrepreneurship, but the impact is everywhere. However, there is a raising issue in the public that people are becoming too dependent
on the
not only people, but also we may see also the risk of entrepreneurs becoming too dependent on technology and relying on them and losing their spirit, their judgment. How do you see this risk challenging today's entrepreneurs?
Yeah, this is how to say, we have two different point of view on this issue. Yes, they can lose. So let's start from the beginning. So if we see the entire world like definition, only the 2% of the entire population, they are innovative. The 48%, 50%, they are people, they are copying, and they are entrepreneurs. They are copying the innovation. So if you have social media, for example, Facebook, then they're going to copy something maybe
similar one.
And they're going to produce similar. In fintech, you have this kind of thing, in gaming, and the other 15, they are people who are just doing the job, like a job that they are consumers in the meantime, and they are doing some normal job. So we have just 2% innovative people in the entire world, like Steve Jobs, like Bill Gates, this kind of people, Tesla, Edison, this kind of thing. But it's very important to know that so the first thing, the entrepreneurship spirit cannot be harmed from the technology, because in some point of view they can help in discover something that is very necessary for one thing. For example, so we work in the university and we write paper research, okay? So our academic staff, they are writing paper research, they are doing research in the field of the deep tech, this kind of thing. So when you do research and when you put somewhere in some platform, Google Scholar, I don't know, Academia, Springer, this kind of...
Yes, any other platform.
Or in our university, people can find you what you do for some issue, okay? So some entrepreneur now can catch the information very easy.
Yes.
To see what's happening somewhere, so I can
be
do
updated.
You know, the period when we have COVID. So we have global epidemic, and we have inflation of the paper research about the COVID situation, from the health issue to the economic to the psychologist to everything. So what they did, they find the vaccine for very short period, because the people of entire world, they are sharing the information, sharing the experience. So one good entrepreneur can catch good information and can create some vaccine.
Can valorize that.
Absolutely, yes. So this is something that is very necessary for the, let's say, for some entrepreneur. So when I said entrepreneurial, it's not just a risky thing. It's also having information and putting the information in the valorization, how you said, to that thing. And the other side is that, yes, maybe in some point of view they can decrease the entrepreneurship spirit when the people are in front of technology. They are very staying in technology and they are doing
a lot.
Yes, but you know what? That is depending of how you are giving motivation to the humans. If you are in one institution, government institution, public institution, private institution, organization, multi-corporate organization, if you give to your employer momentum that they can innovate something, they can create something. You know how much innovation you have in a daily basis? Millions. Something that you know, something that it's not necessary to happen, but
you didn't take any step to do by yourself. Someone else did.
I know one example with the Toyota. They have yearly they have 5 million idea from the employers. 5 million idea from the employers, from the digital marketing, from the technology, deep tech, etc. Let's say let's finalize 0.01% of the 5 million. That is very huge number.
Yes.
To put in the process of the production.
To put in the use.
Yes. So this is something that you cannot kill the entrepreneur spirit with giving the information experience. No, but you can kill the motivation. If you give the motivation to the people to invent, to be creative, then can be something else. I'm going to a little bit to do like shift with this thing with education, let's say educational system in our country. So you know you have PISA. PISA is evaluation of a creative thinking of the students from 13 to 14 years. The OECD is doing the entire world. So they think how they are choosing one problem with a creative approach. So so you have experience, okay, you have knowledge, but you must have creative thinking how to fix one chosen problem. Approach
in a new way.
In a new way. So why? And if you see in the top level of the country that they have, they are in the top 10 of the PISA standing, or PISA testing standing. You're going to see that Singapore is the first. Innovation, entrepreneurship is Singapore is in a high level.
Yes.
Hong Kong,
Japan,
Finland. What to say? When you see the countries, Estonia, I don't know,
Japan,
So when you see the country that they are very higher in the PISA standing test scoring, you're going to see that they have entrepreneurial spirit. So the entrepreneurship, Sani, is not something that
It's bold.
it's doing from your instinction.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that from your instinct, but it's something that you are raising.
Yes.
From the early stage of living. You know, the people, the babies, then the kids, they are very innovative.
Yes.
You know?
And you may see everyone is talking about this
Absolutely.
in our informal
So
talks.
for this is something that
when we have coffee.
So
they say
So-
nowadays kids are smarter.
absolutely.
And this is
It's-
a reality. It's not
normal
only
because they have
a
a lot
thought.
of information, because they are living in
Better
with the
conditions.
technology. They are living with let's say with a good food, with a
Yes.
good environment, with all that thing is it's in the how say in developing of the childhood.
Their
Let's say.
perception.
So this is very important. So if you have good education system, like I mentioned for the
Yeah.
PISA, you're going to have good entrepreneur spirit
Yes.
in the country.
That's
so
the
they
real
can have
impact
approach
that we may
how
have.
they're going to do. So this is very interesting. So when we speak about entrepreneur, you can speak also entrepreneur in governance. How
Yes.
you can
Provide the service.
manage the government. Margaret Thatcher is the example of entrepreneur spirit. Women, and also one of the best prime minister in Brittany.
British history. Yes.
Why? Because she did the liberalization of the market, and she did a lot of things in the market that was entrepreneurship approach of
Right.
what doing some problem. The same thing is, let's say, the prime minister of Japan, or maybe the governments that the people they have in there. So one prime minister can change a lot of with the entrepreneurship approach, with the creative approach of doing the thing, because we know everything how to do for them, so financial things, the other thing is the government law thing, but entrepreneurship approach
Yes.
is something else.
Only like this, like you briefly explained, we may have a real impact on increasing entrepreneurship level and fostering innovation in one society, in one country, and you provided real successful examples that they have done.
Yeah.
And I totally agree that the approach is the core one that we should work, especially in the education system,
Yeah.
since it is something that is taught, and I think that we have a lot of work to do as a society, as a country, towards that, in order to foster entrepreneurship, to boost entrepreneurship. Since with the students, we are having lectures, we are dealing with them, and you see still, even though the number is rising, students that they open their firms, their startups, they have that courage.
Yeah.
Some of them, they have the knowledge.
Yeah.
However, still the number is quite low. And what do you think in this aspect? I wanted to ask about nowadays entrepreneurs. Since, students and most of us want to know in order to be equipped, in order to prevent any failure, what are the most common mistakes that the new nowadays entrepreneurs or lifestyle entrepreneurs make?
So let's start from one thing, that if you want to have good startups, good entrepreneur in the startups, in our country, unfortunately, the triangle of the academia, of the real business, and also the student or the new workforce, creative workforce, is missing. For if you take example for the developing country, you're going to see that the academia, the student, and the real business, they are working. So let's say the technoparks that they are in the United States, in the entire Europe. Nowadays, Horizon is very important for Europe, because Europe is behind the China and United States in this field of the raising the startups and new things. Why? Because the link and the procedure between the academia, because the research thing they are doing in academia, and then real business, the company that is something needs to take from academia to see what's happening, then the new workforce or the new entrepreneurship blood, let's say like this, they can do something in the raising the startups. What is missing for one entrepreneur or for one startup now in our country? Let's say a lot of things. Experience, one thing. Lack of information, visibility. We are not visible, Sani, because we are a small country. No one is seeing us. We must work a lot to see us something that we are doing here. We are not visible in the map of the startups of the entrepreneurs. So what you need to do is to create the networking. So the new startups must create the networking before they are going to scale up, or before they are in pre-seed and seed, someone to invest in them. They must create good networking. So they must be good visible to someone. So, when I evaluate startups in our country, or idea of startups, they are all the same startups. Something that they have approach only for I just want to finalize the problem that they see in our country, with let's say with the parking place, with the social platforms. Something that it's already consumed in the entire world. Why they must see the challenging thing in the company and the academia? Because they can invent something, and they can create something based on the data that they can take from the academia and from the company. Nowadays the big companies, the multi-level company, they invest in startups for something that they can develop. They not develop anymore in the company because it's very expensive. Right. So what they do, they invest in the startups. So now, because they can find good entrepreneur there. Yeah. Yes. So nowadays that is very important. In our country also missing of the mentors. Yes. When we mentors said mentors, sometimes the startups are confused. They are not professors, mentors. The mentors are people who have knowledge, experience, and networking. Yes. This is very important. So when some mentor see that something happening to some entrepreneur, they can push that startups and can be that startup very successful.
Professor, only to relate here, since we are speaking about things that lack the mistakes that are made by new entrepreneurs. On the other hand, a lot of us, and especially younger generation, wants to know what are the key qualities that should a person, a youngster, should have in order to be a successful environment, but in the current environment.
First, for the young generation, you must be optimistic for your idea.
Have self-confidence.
Yes, to be and confident and self-committed to your idea.
So you said it's not
just something
the courage.
Yeah, it's not something that this is happening, but they cannot be the failure, it's learning to do. If you fail in some idea, they can be learning for you. This is one experience for you. And you fail again, and this is another experience for you. And then you have another experience to you. From the moment that you can find good experience and you can raise your business, the people who are very successful in the business, they fail a lot of time.
So they should try.
So Krugman said, you know what? For the macroeconomic thing, Paul Krugman said, I said a lot of things that I miss about the current situation in the world, but 8 or 10 times I take I find the right prognosis, and the people know me only for about this thing, not about the failing thing. So you're going to fail. People not going to remember you that you
Yes.
failed something.
Yes.
They're going to remember
For your
you that you are
success.
successful. So
Right.
for that reason, they must know this thing.
Yes.
But to do success, you cannot do with just one time.
Yes.
The people, you know,
And for
the
short
people,
period.
Absolutely. You know, the Bill Gates was. I read one fantastic book about Malcolm Gladwell about outlier. And the 10,000 hour you need to be good experience to have good experience. So when they bring the new computer in the college that he learned, he fell in love with the computer. For the Bill Gates, I said. And then he went to the hospital during the night shift to use the computer for own reason and also to do service of a computer that they bring to that period. And when they ask for someone that he has experience about the computer in the United States, when they develop the pilot program for the developing the technology on this thing, and you know who is just able for that position? Only Bill Gates. So he did a lot of things, a lot of hard work to gain that he
That
has
possibility,
that mind.
that
So
advantage.
you cannot do without working,
Yes.
without
Commitment.
without commitment, without having experience in something, and to be successful. We said this thing also in our on our environment. We know our successful
Yes.
entrepreneur that we have here there. They start very in how to say in the low level of the business, but they are not very successful. We know.
Yes.
So you cannot gain successful business if you not feel the fail of something that happening in the
Professor,
company.
we know that you have mentored a lot of startups, and also at the Innox Innovation Centers, you are daily, meeting a lot of young entrepreneurs, a lot of from the youth generation that they have ideas, and you also have contact and meetings with already established startups, organizations, and different entities. So I would like to ask in this direction, how, as an experienced as you, Professor, how you can separate or detect the one that only talk from those that actually build. Because we have a lot of not only in our country but in general, a lot of people giving ideas, pretending to be smart. However, action is missing. So since you are experienced, you have had a lot of cases, how you
Sani, market can evaluate you without any emotion. Market. They can destroy you in a minute if you are not good in that thing. So we in Innox, unfortunately, we are working still in the platform of creating good platform for acceleration program, for incubation program, this kind of thing. So when you create the platform, you need mentors from here, from abroad, from foreign country, etc., etc. And also, when you're going to create that platform with the accelerator platform, we have one incubation program there. And yes, we are giving them all infrastructure to do something there.
Yes.
So maybe they're not going to be successful, but in the meantime, we know that we give them the space, we give them the mentorship, sometimes financial things to raise and to see what's going to happen in the future. It's very hard when you work with the acceleration program, with the incubation program, the imitation or the how they say the people who are not ready for doing business, they see that they are not part of that thing. They just they just went from some programs. One time I asked one very famous angel investor from Slovenia, why we are not successful in our country, in Macedonia, why we don't have good startups in our country. Because the angel investment VC, they come, they how to say, they fishing the good startups, they scouting good startups, because they have knows about that investment in the right startups. And you know what was the answer of that lady? She told me they are not hungry. This is very interesting.
Yes.
And when I always say to the student, and you know what? If you are not hungry for the success,
quite true.
If you don't believe in your idea, mentor
yourself.
Cannot believe in your idea.
Yes.
So you must believe
mentor
in your
can
idea.
Guide you.
Yeah. So yes, they give us trash, let's say trash idea in Innox. We give them the chance, by the way, to prove that they are good, because the raising of the startups is going from the period to period,
phase to phase.
So from pre-seed, seed, to then
it's like
creating MVP for the company. Yeah. Then after they create an MVP, they start with a real company, and they scale up. And the startups is time period from the startups from 1 year to the 5 year. So, and also the mortality of the company, new company, is very high, because 95% of the company that they are starting the first year in our country, they are not existing anymore, because it's normal thing that people open the company, new company, then they are closing the company, etc., etc. But it's to have good idea. Sometimes I'm going to refer also in this book something else, tipping point to the mentors, to the people who know that one startups can be very successful. And that I refer for that lady, angel investment. We raise unicorn startups in Slovenia, and they were in a phase of scale up. What they do, they do some storytelling, fairy storytelling for the student, for the German market. And it was very interesting that she give money, but the money that she give to that startup for a scale up was not that they going to do something in the innovation thing, but to use the name of the angel investor to go in the big market. So the startups sometimes are very clever, very smart when they are doing something. So to raise one unicorn startups, it's very hard, but in the same time, it's very successful story. Let's hope that in our country we're going to raise some good unicorn startups.
Yes, in every topic that we are tackling here, always we go in the end to see from local perspective. You entered already, you touch something from our country, from our local perspective. So additionally, I would like to hear from you. What do you think the entrepreneurial landscape in our country, how it differs from, very shortly, from global trends, especially in accessing the technological digital tools and, of course, funding?
Unfortunately, I said that we are not visible. One thing is not visible, but we have good entrepreneurs that they raise the business here in our country, then they go out, they scale up the business out of our country. So nowadays, Sani, is very, how to say, it's very easy to be part of the global market, because you have digitalization everywhere. So you can work here, because it's very
remote work.
How we say, freelancer can be here, and you can work for some, let's say for some country in United States. You know that we have one kino studio here, a private, that they work for the animation movie in our country. They are very successful in our country. So they bring entrepreneurship spirit in the country. We have TechnoSun in our country. We have a company that they are here, and they also give service to the country that they are abroad. To be entrepreneur nowadays.
Nowadays also is
it's
ever more
easy,
present,
yes,
digital
have,
nomadism.
Yes, absolutely. You can work when.
Also, I think you have for condition opportunity for
absolutely yes.
digital nomads.
Yeah, so this is interesting that the Skyliner
But I don't know
of
how
the
it is
of
developed
the
here.
the sky.
How
Yeah, no, it's very it's good here in our country. Also in Balkan country,
Great.
digital nomad, they are coming from
Yes.
all country
Yes.
here. Why? Because Skyline, the
Yes.
internet that they brought to the
Yes.
Tesla and
Yes.
Elon Musk.
Yes.
Nowadays, you can take that internet whenever
Everywhere.
you go, everywhere. So you have the internet, and you can be digital nomad
You
in
don't
in the jungle.
You
Let's
don't
say.
face any barrier.
Yeah. So
in
this
this
is something
aspect.
that for entrepreneurship is very easy, but also the market is very, very.
Smart.
How to say? It's they ask a lot of things to do to
Dynamic.
be dynamic, so to be successful. One idea today, for 1 week, it's already not idea. It's
Old.
some old
It
idea.
becomes old.
So when you work to that idea
You need
that
to be
you're going to
fast.
bring today, you must be not fast but very fast
Yes.
to do something to create that idea, to give them to the idea the identity. If you give the identity to that idea, that is very, very easy. Airbnb,
Yes.
Volt,
A lot of
Facebook.
successful
The
stories.
thing that maybe sometime we've said, why we don't have Volt? We have in Macedonia Korpa,
Yes.
but the Volt was something
with identity.
with identity, with
Like
something
you
that
mentioned.
you do here. So to be entrepreneurship, it's weakness that you are visible, you are a small country. Yeah, we are lack of financial
Yes.
issue. That's
Barriers.
everything.
I
barrier.
wanted to ask about that. You are
But in the
Continue, Professor.
meantime, when you are small here, you can raise your business quietly here. So you can do something
that's an
that no one
advantage.
cannot see you because you are not visible, and you can be successful. So you must use the weakness side and the advantage side of your business, of your place that you are
Yes.
living here.
And you explained thoroughly the situation in general in our country. And what do you think? How might our country or our government, public institutions,
Yeah.
can help to advance our current position in regard to remote and digital entrepreneurship, especially next decade?
I'm going to do, let's say, to do like comparative thing with a lot of with the country that they invest in RDI, research, development,
Yes.
innovation. If you say Turkey has $20 billion in year for RDI, you're going to see that they start to take the first fruits of the innovation. You see the technology is raising up in that country. If we said that in United States, just Technopark of the Texas have already $5 billion in year for research, development, and innovation, you're going to see that why they are in a health, in medicine,
And
you're going
why
to
they are
see
in this
why they
position.
are in this position. So
And where we are.
Yeah, to be good in this thing, you must invest. Our country, they don't invest in research.
And
They
develop.
did that. They don't, and then they don't research and develop, and they don't research and innovation. Why I'm saying this thing is one Serbia is giving 15 new innovation yearly. Macedonia has 8 from the established till today.
8, only 8.
So why I'm saying that, why I'm telling this thing? You have innovation, but you are not taking lessons. This kind of thing.
Impactful
When you're going
innovation
to
we are
see,
speaking.
when you're going to see the ranking of innovation in our country, unfortunately, is not higher. So our opportunity is with the project that they already have, like let's say university, like Horizon project.
And this the latest one.
8 university.
Yes,
yeah,
Impactus.
Impactus Campus, this
Impact
kind of
Campus
thing.
project,
So
yes.
with this project, we are not taking only funds from the horizon.
Yes.
We are sharing experience with a different university.
Also,
So,
we are
yeah.
contributing
So
to
our country,
development of the
our
innovation
country
ecosystem.
must invest in creating let's say from the logistic thing, hubs, the technological parks, the people who are going to work there, law system. They must create law regulation about the new startups.
Right.
To have taxation, different taxation from the technology park, different taxation, different fundraising about that
a special program.
Absolutely. Then to create platform that you can create networking with the different countries, so you can sell, they can see your startups, your entrepreneur, to be visible, your entrepreneur, to see the people that you have something here. Let's take like also the comparing with our country, who is 1.8 million citizen here, and Estonia is 1.5 million. And then you have just in Estonia for gamification, you have maybe 200,000 people who are working in that sector in Estonia from the different countries. You know, that is the number.
Yes.
So they work only in gamification. Or let's say in the different digitalization that they have Estonia. So Estonia is the same country like our country.
Yes,
but
with
they
same
have
population.
They have entrepreneurship spirit in the government.
They invest.
They invest, absolutely. If you not invest in the future things that you are doing here, you cannot do nothing. The three main things that you must do to develop your country, like that, I'm speaking now in macroeconomic way. One is the investment in human capital, yes, with the skills, with the education, with the raising the infrastructure for the education.
Yes.
The second thing is the institutional thing. Yes. If you don't have institution with a vision for the future, with a good governance politics, with a good management, you cannot do nothing. So you have budget that is budget who is valorizing budget, not only expensive budget, to expense.
Yes.
And the third thing, it's very important, the third thing is the digitalization of your society. The digitalization is not having web page and email. The digitalization is something that is the different, how you're going to link all these things to put in digitalization. Digitalization is not only ChatGPT.
Yes.
The digitalization is creating infrastructure for moving the data very fast.
Facilitating processes.
Absolutely. This kind of thing, to do fast thing, to move things faster,
to be more effective,
to be more effective, more efficacy, to save time, to save money, to this kind of thing.
And in the end be more productive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, Professor, I totally agree. And there are some certain perceptions that need with the time, and of course society and different stakeholders in the society need to work in order to remove this perception. Like you said, we see digitalization as only web, as only some social media, or some sort of getting a service sometimes digitally, but that's not the case. Like you explained, it's something widened, something else that should bring additional value to our society. And you said we have few institutions, like one of the institutions is your institution, Innox, that try to contribute, also at our university, through different programs and projects, like you mentioned, the one, they try to contribute to the development of the innovation ecosystem in our country, which has an impact later on to the boost of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs. However, this lacks, and as you mentioned those three things, I totally agree that we should point more
Absolutely.
and work on that direction. However, let's go to future perspective and trends. Professor, I have very few questions here, and we may conclude this very fruitful conversation. If you look a decade ahead, how do you expect the role of entrepreneur to change
Look, if I
How you
mentioned,
see, since you are dealing with these issues daily, how you see it is going, how it will.
the entrepreneur is fantastic supervisor. Or someone who is supervising everything. So if you're not giving him the how to say the focus viewing the entire problems and what he can change, cannot do nothing. So let's say this thing: we have entrepreneur, and also the process of entrepreneurship. So it's not just entrepreneur. Yeah, can be some one human, one person, but also you can have entrepreneurship, have a process that is dealing some company of institution. So they have all organization entrepreneurial spirit. So if we not go from the one phase to another phase, to have also the process to be in the process of entrepreneurship, then we're going to lose a lot of things. So in my point of view, if you see nowadays, if you see the winner of Nobel Prize, you're going to see that it's it's a normal not to be just one person, but to be team of the peoples. You see, nowadays they give Nobel Prize in economy, in physics, and this kind of thing, in chemistry. And if you can see the different ethnicum of the people who are receiving the Nobel Prize. One is from one part of the world, the other is from another part, and you're going to say how they are communicate between them, because they are in entrepreneurship process, so they are doing some innovation. So they find the way
and
how
they are
to find
more
yes,
visible themselves.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So this is something that is missing in our country. Not only entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs is not someone that is very good in trading or in production in the low level, but someone that is going to raise the business behind the third level.
Additional value.
Not just production
standard.
If we have, I'm going to take example. Someone it's working in the field, agronome field. So you need smart thing, you need smart process to raise your business to the third level of giving service to someone else. And you're going to say, how is going to happen this thing? So you have limited land, So in the meantime, you do the second phase, you do industrialization of that field. So you do something, you raise some plants there, okay? In the third level, you invent some software or some drones or something that you can sell this service to another one. So this is something that must happen in our country. So how we can create the entrepreneurship process to raising this thing, because entrepreneur can be the people who's working in the field, agronome, farmers, yes. But how you going to sell in the third level service? I have guests from Afion in our country, and they take one. They give me experience about this thing. They have tomatoes they have tomatoes. They plant tomatoes in the Afion. And they have a process from Netherlands, how to raise the tomatoes from one time to another. And they have a professor for agronomic industry in that technopark. He was no one in that time. He just give lecture, and he come to that technopark and start to work with the guys with the IT, this kind of thing. So they create fantastic service. They update that process there, and they are very successful there. So they start to sell to Netherlands the same thing that they do that thing. So this is very necessary, Sani. How are you going to create entrepreneurship process for the future to create something else? Some good platforms. So we are doing something. We are doing that thing in Innox to create good platform for the entrepreneurship, and that entrepreneurship that entrepreneur
to flourish,
to put in the entrepreneurship process, and that entrepreneurship process to go upper and upper.
Yes. And Professor, as we are closing this conversation, I would like from your side one piece of advice that you may give to someone that wants to start his or her entrepreneurial journey today in this contemporary environment, especially to the students, younger generation, what would be that advice?
I always put them the motivation speech of the Steve Jobs in the Stanford University, and in the end, the Steve Jobs mentioned one thing: please stay hungry but stay foolish. So be hungry and be foolish. So if you want to be good entrepreneur, you can gain experience during the time that you are in university. Yes, see something that you can do. So take a lot of experience there, gain a lot of experience there, but also stay foolish and stay hungry in that position. So I say the same thing, that be hungry for success, see what you can do something here. Is not easy,
Yes.
It's very hard, but the success is something that is, for the futures, is very
Coming
good
from
to,
failure.
From the fail they come
Yes.
the success.
So, Professor, I would like to sincerely thank you for being our guest.
Thank you.
And also, on the other hand, I want you to publicly congratulate on the international recognition that you got in Turkey,
Thank
in
you.
Istanbul
Thank
recently. And I hope that these kind of hubs, institutions, centers that foster innovation and the entrepreneurship will rise in our country. And I wish you a lot of success in the upcoming period, and we look forward to any future cooperation. And as we are in the end, I would like also to thank all of our listeners, and we see each other in the new year with new episode, with a new contemporary topic.